So I had to do the countdown video because I needed a little extra time to come up with the plot tonight. So I took 30 seconds. So get ready for a really well thought out session. Say hello to the players.
Hello. How are you doing?
Now, of course,
players.
on a good day, on a busy day, we get one viewer on these videos. So I don't know who we're saying hello to, but why don't you go and do things like introduce yourself and stuff? Because I need to pad as much time as possible for the really thin plot we've got.
Oh,
To volunteer.
Well, I'm playing Kevin Bootle, who's a self-confessed weapons fetishist.
Although you've not been using them very often because you never have any fucking grenades.
Well, they took them away from me. I'm still a bit sore about that, but you know.
Buy more.
I will
Put in
buy
a full
more.
complaints.
Crazy kiosk, but what shields cost me a fortune last time. I couldn't buy hand grenades. But it's back on the list. Hand grenades back on the list. I have to just take my tiger claws and swords instead.
What about you, Danny McSober?
Well, again, if I'd have put Danny McLess drunk or something, or Danny McDrinking less beer tonight than last week, or Danny Mc I'm not merry this time, you know.
There was a point in last week's game where I think you obviously had your music up a bit loud, and I'm not sure you were listening to us at all because you were singing along.
Or was I actually?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Three quarters of us was drunk last week, weren't we?
Sorry.
There, yeah, that is true. And lastly, Dale.
yeah, Ronnie here, playing Dale Regan, who is a self-confessed narcissist who is absolutely convinced that he's the leader of this particular troop, even though he has absolutely no skills, qualifications, experience, or ability to back that up.
And his ancestor could potentially be Winston, given I saw you do the sign of the cross just now. He didn't stop Trump after all. Instead, he gave you.
Okay, so the
yeah,
scene.
Yeah, we've still got that session to go.
The scene. You are at Air de Maupas, which is a tiny little petrol station and toilet block near the Somme River, about just shy of halfway to Paris. And you are on your way to Lubessac in southern France somewhere. Which, let me just put that into Google Maps to see how long that should take. By car, that should take 5.5 hours driving.
Sounds about right.
If only. Because at the moment, you've just filled up your tank with petrol and you haven't got any money to pay for it. And there's a wolf in front of you demanding you pay in French francs. And when you couldn't, has summoned the Queen of France and howled.
Yes.
No one carries cash anymore.
5.5 hours by car. We've not got a car.
No, you don't.
We've currently got an ice cream truck.
This is true.
Aye. You don't think that we could fuel the car with ice cream, do you?
Your diesel tank's kind of full of the diesel you've just taken from this wolf.
Actually,
I've never heard of anyone trying it.
Here's a thought. Wolves are members of the canine family, and they don't do well with dairy products. I say we load them all up on ice cream, and it will hit them hard, and then we make a fucking bolt for it.
I wonder if there's any really strong, like Bailey's flavored syrup or something as well. We could do for the Queen.
Oh, I could have a search around in the back.
You
Maybe
start
something really old and potent.
you start rummaging around in the back, and you do have an assortment of different coverings. Whilst you're sorting them out to see what you've got, the rest of you observe that wolves are emerging and forming a big circle around the petrol station. At first, it's like, oh, there's like half dozen wolves, and it's like, oh, there's like a dozen now, 15, 30-ish.
Yeah.
60. Oh, it's hard to count now.
I've seen this film. It's called The Hills Have Fleas.
I hope we don't run out of ice cream.
We just have to take out the main. If we can find the leader of the pack.
Oh, the
That's
Queen
all
of
we
France.
do.
Ah, yes, the Queen of France.
And the circle of wolves, and they all have lots of piercings and tattoos in Celtic patterns. This was described last week. You're looking confused, like this is news to you, but I realise now just how little attention you were paying.
I was singing along to whatever song was on, apparently. So.
Okay.
No,
So the wolf.
they all have piercings, excess
Piercings and
amounts of
Celtic tattoos.
piercings, and tattoos that don't look so much like tattoos in the traditional sense. It looks like something that's been kind of burned, almost like branded into the skin.
Yeah, it's like branded patterns in sort of Celtic-ish patterns.
So, essentially, you know, these are French punk werewolves.
I got that.
Yeah.
And the circle, as it gets closer or smaller around you, they actually have to start forming two ranks, because as the circle gets smaller, there's so many wolves now that they can't fit in a circle. It's like that's the kind of quantities of wolves you are dealing with. And as they get as kind of close as they can to, essentially just circling you, like 10-meter circle in the middle, as it were. The wolf whose petrol station it was says, "Where is the Queen?" "Oh, of course, I'm being stupid, I know. Yes, obviously, she's not here yet. It takes 5.5 hours drive to get here from Lubersac."
Oh, Jesus. Right. Here's
Why don't we go to her?
Yeah, we could drive our way there. We could meet them halfway.
Well, you would need... We would need to ensure that you did go directly there. So, why don't we fill you full of dairy products so you're incapacitated, and we'll drive you there?
You can drive as well.
Of course, we're wolves.
You say that like it shouldn't be surprising to us.
You mean it is?
Yeah, well, it is a bit, to be honest.
Why?
It's a bit of a...
We weren't expecting anyone to be in France at all.
But we admit we don't have a great tourist economy. Nonetheless, this is our turf.
That's a point. Are we taking any precautions with the fact we're in a high radiation area?
You have a Geiger counter from circa 1960.
Fabulous.
We assume it's working.
Well, we know it's working. I was getting it to play Ride of the Valkyries last week.
Oh, that was the Ride of the Valkyries thing.
I was flashing it back and forward, getting Ride of the Valkyries off of it. So we know.
Oh, wait. I need to retcon, because you can't actually drive through Paris. It's 7 hours drive to Lubersac.
Is that 7 hours car time or 7 hours ice cream truck time?
9 hours in that thing. Right. So, have you got a bucket in the back?
Probably got some
Yes,
empty ice cream cartons.
we do have a bucket in here, but you really don't want to be filling that full of food. It's
No, it's for you. We're going to fill you full of dairy products so you're incapacitated.
no. Well, with respect, this bucket is designed for not for the engorging of food, but for the depositing of waste.
That's what we're talking about, yes. You're going to need something when you're full of dairy product.
Oh shit!
Yes, that's what we're talking about. Like we said, we want to incapacitate you with dairy products and then transport you to Lubasac to meet the Queen.
These wolves mean business. We got two options here. We either do what they say, in which case we're going to be sitting there full of fucking ice cream for hours, or someone gets in that seat, we put pedal to the metal, and we just bloody drive through them and add to the economy by creating a new market for wolf pelts.
Can you show me that Geiger counter again? So I'm hoping, given that they are still dogs in some ways, that they react to specific very high frequencies.
Right.
Am I able to hack the Geiger counter so that the Ride of the Valkyries becomes so high pitched that we can't hear it, but they can?
Probably not with the Geiger counter, given it hasn't really got speakers and stuff per se. It's all just crude electronics. But the ice cream van, if you were to put more power through the speaker system, you could bolster the cables to be sufficient to take it by quadrupling up all the cables and stuff. A little bit of time with a soldering iron. And a source of more power, which you could probably jury rig by dismantling one of the shields, then yes, you could. But you would need a little. You'd need a little time to actually build the, make the speaker system, add more wires essentially, so that it can take the current.
Yeah. Stalin.
Okay, let's get the ice cream out.
Stop.
Right.
So,
as we're having a party atmosphere, I believe that we should have some party tunes. So for 100 points, who can name this tune? And I just punch in a random one from the tunes that'll be on there, because it won't just be the one. It'll be
it only has Ride of the Valkyries.
Oh bollocks! 100 points. Name this tune.
Than that. I have to
For 100 points. Name this tune in one. D. Anyone?
So you start playing Ride of the Valkyries.
No, I play the first note.
Oh, okay.
I go, can you name this tune in one? D. Anyone? Anyone? Wake up. Anyone at all?
Are you hoping to achieve something with this?
Yes, it's entertaining.
Yes. It's like a quiz, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit of a brain teaser.
Anyone? See,
the wolves.
You're looking like you know. Come on, let's have it.
From one note, no. The wolves, meanwhile, have got out 3 bowls, and are filling them up with milk from their fridge in the petrol station.
You're gonna have to drink some of that. Keep them busy.
There we go.
I'm more worried about cow milk.
If you could drink the entire bowl, please.
Just do it, and that way they won't think that I'm not here.
I am lactose intolerant,
It is definitely stale, by about 400 years.
Oh. Pouring wasn't probably the right word then, was it?
Yeah, no, it clumps out.
Oh.
Yeah, it'd be literal curds and whey.
Yeah.
That's not.
It's not even white.
That's more yogurt or cheese.
It's gone beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have separated completely.
Yeah.
One of the ice creams says, "I'm sentient. This isn't fair." Sorry, ice creams, milk, bowls of milk.
Oh, I see. That makes more sense now.
I thought you wanted us to meet the Queen that's still alive, but this is going to kill us.
No, this is actually poisonous to humans. You will actually kill us with this stuff.
If we drink this, one bucket won't be enough.
Well, that's about the freshest dairy product in all of France right now.
We've got fresh dairy products on the way.
That is unfortunate for you.
You have.
It's criminally, dangerously, deadly for us. This shit will kill us. And then you won't get your money.
Whoa. Fresh dairy product on the wagon? As in,
Ice cream.
fresh?
Ice cream! We keep it fresh. It's beautiful. It's brilliant. You should come have some.
But isn't that made of glass?
No.
Yes.
No.
Definitely.
No. Just to explain. The thing at the top, the fiberglassy thing that looks like an ice cream cone, that's not real.
No. We are well educated. Ice cream, the French called it glass.
Oh.
La glace. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. They didn't mean glass as in the stuff you make your windows with.
I'll reach in and grab a tub and slide it across the floor.
Several wolves descend across the tub and get brain freeze immediately.
Keep doing that.
Brain freeze.
Brain freeze a fucking lot of them. That's what I say.
Do you need me to make a roll?
Yes. Can I have a Mechatronics plus intelligence roll? I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we'll probably just be grabbing tubs, pulling lids, and
Made it by
Okay. Made it by 1. Okay, so it's going to take you think, over half an hour.
one. Okay.
Okay, meanwhile, lots of tubs of ice creams are sliding out of this ice cream van and being slid across the floor into packs of wolves, and they're all going...
Have we got enough of a gap of brain frozen wolf for us to drive through or over?
brain freeze.
Yes, I'll give it you.
Boom.
I'll let you escape the wolf encirclement.
Wait, I wasn't finished yet.
Just turn the music on.
Pedal to the metal. Yeah, the music's going on and
Okay.
Piling on.
In a big cloud of diesel smoke, the ice cream van slowly lurches forward. The quadcopter above you starts to move again to follow you.
Oh god, I forgot about the copter.
It's just a little radio control one, still going though.
I do, however, have a
that
sniper.
thing still get battery life.
I will aim my new V12 semi-automatic sniper rifle out and try and shoot the damn thing.
Okay, are you taking the full 3 actions to aim for the first shot?
Yeah.
Because you may as well. You are, however, on a moving platform.
Yeah.
So you're going to get -4 for that.
No.
But I think you get +4 for each action you aim, so it'd be a total of +8.
And I thought driving as well.
Are you driving as well?
I didn't think I was driving.
I figured I was going to drive because I've
Yeah, you said
Yeah.
boom as if
That's wrong.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
At the moment, Dale has the wheel. The gear changes are slightly clunkier.
Can I just state, just for the basis of the moving platform, given that we're going about the speed of an arthritic snail with asthma, wouldn't that be something sort of -2-ish, even
Right.
1-ish?
Could you make a reflexes plus drive roll, please, Dale? If you get +4, you counter the penalty. If you get +4 under. If you get 3 under, the penalty is -1. If you get 2 under, it's -2, etc., etc.
Reflexes plus drive.
And could you make your to hit roll, please, Danny, for both your shots? Only the first one gets the bonus. +12 bonus.
I
Missed
said
by
+8
3.
bonus.
Well, it's 3 turns of aiming and we plus 12,
Yeah.
but I decided to put a drive roll in to determine how much that impacts your shot.
Okay.
I missed by 3.
Okay, so it's a -7 because you hit a pothole. Actually, no, sleeping policeman, just as you're taking your shots.
So I now get
You might be
-7.
fucking intelligent, wolves, but you don't deal with your roads well.
Or
Afraid
is it
so,
my-
but it's -7 plus 12 for the first shot. So
Yeah,
the
so
first one
plus
is
5.
actually +5. The second one
Yeah.
is -7.
Okay.
Wow.
+5, yep. Made that by 7.
Okay, that's a good hit.
I mean, given that I know the terrible bonus, do I need to aim a second time?
Well, if you want, roll the damage for the first one.
Yeah. 2.
Hey, Steve.
Hello, Steve. That is a 7 damage.
Hi,
7
Steve, how are
damage.
you?
Okay, you strike the lithium-ion battery. It explodes in a shrapnel of what looks like magnesium on fire, and forms a nice kind of plasma arc all around the ice cream truck for a moment, as the debris comes to the ground. And you accelerate away. Then the rear wheels go over the sleeping policeman. A tub of ice cream falls out the side window. Several wolves descend on the ice cream and immediately lick it. Just frozen as their brains can't cope with the sheer cold.
Yeah.
And you proceed onwards on the motorway toward Paris. So you have, for the time being, escaped without paying for your diesel. You have finally dealt with the quadcopter that was following you. Within 3 minutes of that, however, you see something, Dale, in the rear view. A familiar white motorbike. Last seen in a Scunthorpe, I believe. When you
See,
last
now I
saw it.
remember who this is.
It is, of course, Mistress Mistress
Lingula.
Cunniligula. Yes.
Lingula.
Oh, God.
With
it's
her
that
Roman
fa-
toga on.
It's that fanny on a bike again.
Mm.
What? Fuck. Okay.
Okay.
Sniper. Boom.
She is keeping you in sight, but she's at very long range. But this is a motorway. So it would be
Sniper.
a hell of a shot to make it from a moving platform.
Sniper. Yeah.
Okay. You're going to attempt it.
Range. That's the point.
Okay.
It's long range.
Let's have a drive roll from Dale again. I won't make the penalty quite so bad, though, because now you're going on the motorway. It's just down to the ricketiness of the ice cream van.
Made it by 3.
Okay. So
My boy.
I'll
Finally.
say that completely cancels the
The
you've
-4.
got no shooting penalty at all.
Sweet. Okay.
So-
I'm still gonna aim though. Might as
Right,
well.
but it is an extreme range shot.
Okay. Which
Okay.
means.
Which means I'm going to put -8 on the shot itself.
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding,
made
ding,
it by
ding, ding,
3.
ding, 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 ding.
Okay. And don't forget the second one, you won't get the bonus.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter because I missed by loads. So.
Okay. Roll the damage.
I'll use these 2. Oh, that's more like it. That's 13.
Okay. So, you shoot her, and there's a spherical glow of energy that then, once it erupts, it then dissipates around, and it kind of looks kind of cool, like she's leaving a trail of blue flames.
The question is whether it got through that shield. It seems to have a lifelong battery.
Okay. Next thing to happen. is a junction. Paris is like, if you stay on this motorway, you will get to Paris. But there is a junction which it goes either to Amiens or it can go to Reims. So
Where
it's
do we
quite a
need to
big
go?
junction. Quite a big junction. However, what you notice on the motorway ahead is a huge, basically loads of static vehicles. So it looks like there was a traffic jam when the bombs fell. So the road looks
right.
like you'd have to get out and go.
I don't care how good the service station is. This queue's too fucking big.
Well, what I'm essentially saying is if you stay on this motorway, you're going to have to abandon the ice cream van, but you have a choice of turning off at this junction and going either to Amiens or Reims.
Which is our best route?
Probably Reims.
Reims it
Sure.
is.
We could try and get something better in Reims.
We
As
could.
a car.
We could. I suppose there's always the possibility we could stop this and maybe nick one of the cars that are static.
Possibly we
Aye.
could get a bit quicker, a bit more comfortable.
Is there a sports car? Even a boy racer would be better than this right now.
This is French provincial traffic, so no.
Oh,
You're probably more comfortable in the ice cream truck.
Ah,
Arthritic snail pace it is. Right, heading off the junction, heading to Reims.
Okay. So as you're going around the roundabout at the junction, there is a sudden explosion of your front left tyre. And all of a sudden, the ice cream van is quite difficult to control, and you have to slow it right up in order not to crash over the junction and land back on the motorway nose first.
We've had a bit of a problem.
well, it's a good bit of driving there to handle that. Pull over, we'll have to change the wheel or something.
Try and park it. Slow it down
Yeah.
and park
So
it.
the problem with the ice cream van, it's a heavy vehicle, so without a tyre, it's actually really hard to, like, you can barely turn the damn thing. Especially as it's the wheel that, or the tyre that went, is the side with the kitchen in essence. So it's just kind of just boom, and then embedding itself in the road.
Fucking
Yeah.
turn, you bastard!
You essentially bring it to a halt on the roundabout.
uh-oh.
Right, maybe not the best place to park, but
Well, we've got much choice. Let's just get the wheel changed.
yeah. About that spare wheel.
What about the spare wheel?
Here's hoping we've got one.
Oh,
We've lost. We we don't have anything else going for us at the moment. We need a fucking spare tire. Either that, or we find a car, one of those parked cars with a similar size for wheels, and we nick one of those.
we just went all that trouble to fill up with diesel.
More pressing problem though. What about the motorbike?
Well, it's not really a problem because it means she's going to get closer real quick, which means she's going to be easier to shoot.
But she's got a fucking shield.
Shoot things round her. Slow her up. Shoot the tires. Shoot the bike.
No, I've got a better idea. Surely there's some petrol left in those static cars. It's a bomb waiting to go off.
Yeah, it might be. I was going to say put ice cream on the road.
Oh, likes that idea.
Let's do both.
Okay, so at the moment, you are on a roundabout, you're inside your ice cream van, and you've lost a tyre. The roundabout is like on the bridge above the motorway, and you can see her approaching. There is indeed a parked car on the side of the road with a couple of skeletons in it. It has no glass in the windows. They obviously got eviscerated when the nukes dropped.
Okay.
Right. Does it look like she's going to head off the off-ramp, the same as us?
Well, at the moment, she's just approaching the junction down the middle of the road. But she's a little way off. You know, you're still inside the van.
Well, I'm going to look for the jack and the spare tire anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get out. As you open the side door to get out of the ice cream van, a bullet strikes near your foot.
I'll get back in the ice cream van. Someone doesn't want us out there. Did anyone see where it came from?
Could somebody who isn't Kevin make... actually, no, Dale is the one that's by the driver's seat, so he's not going to have any chance of seeing it. So, Danny, if you could make perception plus observation, please.
Well, I don't know if I can make it. No, I didn't. Not at all.
Well, it's contested, so I have to do the stealth roll. So how much you fail by might matter.
I failed by 4.
Okay. So what you see is there is somebody in a very nice suit, a paintball mask, a sniper rifle, and a metallic wolf. They are about a mile away. They're like next to a farm. They've got like a really, really expensive looking car. Looks like it's something out of Mad Max, but like being made with Batman's budget. Right? And you see it because they had been sort of taking aim on the bonnet, but after taking the shot, they actually sort of stood up just to scratch their crotch. They failed their stealth spectacularly.
Yeah. Guys, I think I found a ticket out of here, but we need to deal with the guy over there.
Oh, do you think he's the one that shot the tire out?
Aye.
Possible.
I thought it was kind of Lingula, but she's obviously not here.
At this point, I shout out, if you want to buy an ice cream,
He's a mile away, you prick.
I'm trying to open a channel of communication between us. We do not accept payment in bullets. If you want a fucking 99, you're going to have to come down here for it.
Meanwhile, he is setting himself back down on the bonnet and he's starting to aim again and he's trying to sort of dial in.
What's his problem?
Clearly, he hasn't heard me.
Hey,
No, he's a
he's
long
a
way
mile
away.
away.
Wonder if we've upset him.
Cunnilicula, meanwhile, is now approaching the bridge. She's quite close, so she's about to take the junction.
Okay.
How good is that range of yours with that rifle?
I don't actually know officially how much it can.
The important question is, can it shoot something a mile away?
Yes.
I would. Yeah. Okay.
Then
It's a hard shot.
Maybe you can. As my attempts at communication have failed due to distance and a method of communication, perhaps you could communicate it with him in a far more equal measure. He's communicating with us with bullets. Maybe you can do likewise.
I could. However, have you not thought that maybe he also wants to shoot her? Save us a bit of legwork.
He might want to shoot her.
I want to see who
Meanwhile,
he shoots next.
as he's taking aim, you notice somebody has got out of what I'm going to call the Batmobile with dressed as a butler and is just mopping his brow whilst he aims. Just gives it a little mop. Puts it away again.
Yeah, I think the steel wool has given this steel wool. The steel wolf has given this away. I think we found their queen. Or representatives thereof.
Is there a tricolor on the car anywhere?
No.
No.
No. But I tell you what, though, make me an with that inspired thought. Make me a roll on. Just finding a character sheet there with me. Perception plus corporate knowledge.
That's even worse than my observation. Yeah, no way. Missed by 9.
Okay. So, yeah, he's lining up for another shot. Cunniligula is taking the exit ramp. What do you do?
Spill the ice cream. That's all we can do for the moment.
Yeah.
You kind of left it a bit late to get it onto the motorway, but you could put it on the roundabout.
Yeah, she's got to have to sort of bank over on the roundabout on a motorbike.
Thing is, though, it's frozen, so it's just going to be a block of ice cream.
What? Even Mr. Whippy?
Well, yeah, but it's not like it's not liquid.
Yeah, but it's still slippery.
Okay. You chuck a few tubs out on the corner, on the roundabout, as it were. You toss it up road, so as she's approaching, she'll at the very least have to swerve around them, assuming she's coming at speed. Meanwhile, he takes a shot. Oh, he just struck your ice cream on top of the van.
Okay. Right, I'm gonna aim
You're
the
getting
bastard.
billed for that.
Yeah, you take a shot back, Danny. I mean,
Hey.
he's going to blow this thing out from under us.
You can't hit him. Hit
Ooh,
the car.
yes. Do I get the bonus or no?
Well, you didn't
I didn't
aim.
say that, no, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you had, then lots of things will happen in that time. So,
Yeah. Okay, I made it by 6.
okay, all right. It is extreme range though, so I think I said I was going to put a -8 on the shot. So yeah, you strike the Batmobile, but as you're looking through the telescope, like you see, it hasn't damaged it even remotely. And with that, he puts down his sniper rifle and he casually walks over to the boot of his car and opens it. Meanwhile, Cunniligula, you can hear her on the roundabout on the far side, and she's coming round. What do you guys do?
Does this thing have a shield?
What, the ice cream van?
I'm going to get the. I mean, it's a hiding to nothing considering she's because of everything. But I'm going to shoot at her.
So you're going to shoot at Mistress Cunniligula.
Yeah, and remember, I did buy those AP bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, you did.
Kevin.
Yeah, I don't know what we can do for it. I've got nothing to get through the shield. I will try and I will go back to try and find the spare tire and Jack, because we still need here.
So you dart out the van and start rushing around, and you're trying to do this quickly, but I'll say you very quickly find a puncture repair kit.
Puncture repair kit?
And Danny, what are you going to be doing?
I guess at this point, I would drop my sniper, get my cougar out, and yeah, try and like suppress some fire.
At Cunniligula.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in the next round of action, this is what happens. The mystery sniper over by his Batmobile pulls out a 4-barreled rocket launcher from his boot and hoists it over his shoulder. Cunniligula comes round the corner, sees the ice cream, and sharply brakes, almost going over her handlebars as she realizes you're still on the roundabout. Like, she didn't realize you were staying there. And then you guys open fire. Well, two of you open fire on her. So let's have your rolls.
Oh, yeah.
No penalties, it's straight rolls.
Yep. One hit.
None.
None.
I actually missed all 3 shots.
I'll pass Dale the punch repair kit and say we should like to throw this.
I got 2 damage.
Okay, so this is what happens. Dale accurately shoots a road sign. His second shot passes through the hole of the first. His third shot passes through the hole of the first. Danny opens fire as well. His first shot passes through the hole left by Dale's bullet.
Second shot.
His
First
second shot. No. His second shot hits a different road sign that spins around, changing the speed limit on that road. And his third shot hits the shield on Cunniligula's bike, and the blue glow kind of for a moment. She rolls her eyes.
What are you two fucking about for? Shoot her, not the road signs.
It was distracting.
Look. I may have missed her, but I would like to say that is a wonderful grouping of shots. I hit all 3 with perfect accuracy, except for the fact that I didn't hit what I was aiming at.
Yeah, except everyone else just thinks you hit the road sign once and thinks the other 2 went way wide. But you know.
What's the sign say, by the way?
Something in French.
Well, yes, I know that, but do I know what it says? Or is it a symbol?
Je suis un rock star.
It says, all right, you really want to know.
Well.
There's a sign pointing to Ablencourt Presoir, a sign pointing to Dincourt.
Okay.
Denicourt.
Is it a fairly small sign, or is it one of these like big sort of motorway exits?
Yeah, it's a motorway. It's a roundabout sign. You've actually hit it in the back, and then the second one that you spun around was a speed sign. So instead of being 30 mile an hour for the roundabout, it's now 30 mile an hour for the major road, leaving the roundabout.
And how tall is it?
It's a road sign.
Yeah, but they're different heights. I just wondered if it was like, I don't know, sort of 20 feet high or sort of a bit smaller than that.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But it's beyond. Wait, like it's off a different exit. You know.
No, I'm just wondering how I can use it against her.
I can't think of one, but you have hit a barn door. Is the point?
Yes. I know.
Okay, so like she kind of just, what the fuck? I'm not even attacking. Like, I'm not here to attack you.
Not for away.
Does she actually say that then?
Yeah.
She's stopping, is she?
Yeah. She stopped. She's there in a Roman toga, inside the shield of her bike, saying like, "What the fuck?"
Where's the Louvetar?
I still have her because you have not brought me Neil Arthur Tep's penis. Meanwhile, the other guy, the guy over by the Batmobile, is walking back down to the bonnet of his car and brings this 4-barreled missile launcher to rest on his bonnet so we can start taking aim.
Right. Well, see that nice young man up there? The one on the really expensive car.
Mm.
If he gets his way, you don't get your penis. Or anyone else's.
So move.
We can't. We got a fucking bus tire here.
You want me to go and deal with him?
Yes, please. If you're not here to help, if you're not here to hurt us, you can help. Distract him. We can get our tire sorted, and then we can be out of here.
I'm not killing him, but I will distract him. And she accelerates past you at extreme velocity.
All right.
Okay,
Well, that
something's
was very
breaking our
easy.
way for once.
Meanwhile, a missile launches. It's coming toward the ice cream van.
Oh, shit. Well, at least we didn't go to the trouble of fixing the tire.
Right. You do realise, of course, that you, Kevin, are entirely responsible for that.
Why?
You jinxed it. You said, finally, things are going our way.
The other car with the skeletons in, I rush over to it.
That's down on the motorway.
Oh, it's down the... Okay, never mind.
Yeah. But you've seen scattered cars like this the whole time you've been in France. Like lots of people were on the roads at the time the nukes
I
fell.
think we're going to be forced to change vehicles.
Yeah, we should try and change vehicles.
Yeah. Run for the nearest vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all head out, and you can see a Citroen 2CV on the exit that you're looking to take.
I knew it.
So you dive outside of the ice cream van as the missile goes kaboom.
Just out of interest, has in amongst the smouldering wreckage of what was recently the ice cream truck, can we find the little music box thing? Because I want to take that with us. I want to
Before
have
that
that
happens, you all take 2 points of ice cream damage from the
I'm okay,
debris.
I've got armor. I'm all good.
Yeah, don't forget to adjust for armor. But you're outside of the explosion when it hits.
We've all got a fuel shield now, anyway, haven't we?
Yes, though you haven't you do have to activate them for them to be on, because they don't last indefinitely. All right. Meanwhile, Cunniligula is heading toward the Batmobile, as it were, at high speed, and he's now taking aim at her, and then she darts off down a side road. And then he picks up his rocket launcher, calmly walks back to the back of the car, puts it in the boot. And then he kind of sits on the back of the car like he's going to ride its side saddle, grabs hold of a leather strap, and then the butler starts calmly driving the car forward while he's just sat on the boot, holding on to a leather strap that's held into the rear door. And he's got his sniper rifle on his shoulder.
Okay.
This man watched far too many Mad Max movies.
I'm surprised he hasn't got a guitarist on the front either.
I still say, just to have just to go out of it for a moment. When I went to see Fury Road, when I saw that bit for the truck with all the drums at the back and the guitarist on the front bonnet, I thought, yeah, this is nuts. Brilliant, but nuts. It's a wonderful image that you've got the bad guy that's actually got his own chase music.
Meanwhile, as the Batmobile turns, there is a window open facing you, and you momentarily hear music coming from the car as it turns past you, and then the cone of sound goes beyond you. So what you hear is a brief moment of
Nachos.
yes.
Something, that's what you want to hear in the middle of France. Something quintessentially French, like the theme from The Archers. Which I remember watching an audience with Billy Connolly, where he said that we should get rid of God Save the Queen as the UK theme tune because it's too damn slow. And it means our athletes don't do as well because they have to walk round to this turgid, slow song in the opening ceremony. And we should replace it with the theme from the Archers. Because then Britain would go around the track in the opening ceremony about twice the speed of everybody else.
Okay, so you get up to a Citroen 2CV. It has a corpse inside, and a dead badger, and a bird's nest. It's empty.
What the fuck?
It has no windows. There's some bird mess on the rear seat. But the engine is still running. Has been for 400 years.
Sure is that.
They built to last, didn't they? We'll drag the corpse out and the dead badger.
All right, start it up, and I'll see if I can get another
It's
shot in.
it's still running. Has been since the Holocaust.
Well, okay, put it in gear then. You know that kind of thing. But
Let's go.
no, I'll try and take another sniper shot before we go in.
Oh, when you
Oh, they're
came
on
towards the 2CV, yeah, you're long out of
Okay,
view.
okay,
So the
alright.
like the Batmobile chased after Cunniligula for a bit down a back road toward a farm.
Yeah.
And you get going in your 2CV with its air-cooled engine. It is loud, especially without glass in the windows.
And very breezy.
And you are basically on this road for a long time, but you become aware after a while that Cunniligula is in your rear view.
Oh, she's coming again.
Well, I say rear view, it's not like you actually have any mirrors left in this thing. But yeah, no, she is behind you, about a mile back.
Is she hanging back again? Is she?
Yeah.
She's just following us, isn't she? She's going to hope that when we find it to swoop in and take her penis for us.
Yep. Okay, after a few hours driving, you go past a town called St. Quentin.
Right.
There, when you get to the junction where you need, so basically at St. Quentin, you need to turn off the A29 and turn onto the A26. But that junction just isn't there, and St. Quentin itself is just a black scorch mark on the landscape.
Right.
Well,
A troublesome child in the background, being sneaky.
so yeah, it's just like that whole town just no longer exists. It's just scorched earth.
Well,
So it takes you a little while to pick up the A26. But you get on it after a bit, and then you carry on until you get to a river. And
See, this is the whole thing now. The reason it took us a few hours is because we are 3 men. And we are simply incapable of asking for directions. Not that there's anyone to actually ask,
aye.
but even if they were, we wouldn't ask for directions because it's not what
suppose-
us as a species do.
I suppose we could have asked Caligula for directions.
Yeah, so it'd be good.
nonetheless, the 2CV, because it had a thimble full of fuel left, you've driven quite a lot of miles in it, but its thimble full of fuel has ended, has expired, and it sputters to a halt just as you're approaching a river on the A26. And there's oddly no cars on this stretch.
I
No petrol stations around.
No, it's just road forward and backwards and like banks to the side of the road, sort of going up, so you're kind of in a dip, so you don't actually know
Now
what's around you.
the end is near.
You
And
can see there's a bridge about a mile up the road.
Does the river look polluted?
If you sort of go for a walk a mile up the road to take a look at it, you can, because the bridge is about a mile up the road, where you could look over. So you've got some time, I guess. So you do that. The river.
it seems such a long walk. It's a
The
bridge
river.
too far.
The river looks clear, but there is there are a number of skeletons in it.
Swimming. Well, there goes my idea for finding refuel.
Swimming in there.
Well,
Oh,
swimming.
these look nice strokes.
You can see a village off to on the banks of the river.
They might have fuel, or possibly we could pick up another vehicle.
Yeah, you can see a church spire and stuff in the distance. So is that what you want to do? You want to head to there?
Aye.
Yeah, it's looking.
Okay. So you sort of go back up the road, scramble down, up the banks and stuff, and then you find this sort of back road that takes you into this village. And as you approach the village, you see the sign. It's called Alan Court. And then at the far side of as you're coming into the village, it's sort of like a long straight road through it, more or less straight. There's apparently a junction further up, but that doesn't concern you at all. You can see a few cars. There's a Renault 4. There's an old bus, but that looks like it has actually just the tires have fallen off and it's collapsed in on itself. But what is really more concerning is at the far end of Allen Court, there are 8 wolves with bows and arrows.
Okay.
I'm not going to explain the anatomy of how they're holding these bows, but they are long bows because it's Allen Court.
Yes. I dive for the nearest cover.
Okay, you dive into a bush.
Where did Danny go?
Danny went
I'm
hiding.
hiding, you fuck.
Oh, hiding. He's going to hide out.
Yeah, I go diving into some bush as well.
Okay, you dive into a bush. Kevin, you're stood on this country lane next to the road sign for Allen Court. About 400 or 500 meters away are 8 wolves holding longbows. In
Okay.
their paws somehow.
Are the cars closer than the wolves?
The wolves are near the Renault 4.
Yeah, well, longbow, they can make that shot. We need cover.
Yeah. Okay. I'll follow my compatriots under cover. And well, what are we going to do? We can't just hide in here.
No. And I'm getting my sniper rifle out now. Question: when you say they're holding bows, are they actually aiming them in this direction, or are they just?
No, they're just milling around on the road. They're just kind of stood around holding bows. They've got equipments on their backs.
There might not be a problem to us.
Depends if they know.
Yeah, but we've lost the most obvious identification away, the ice cream wagon.
True.
We
are 3 travelers in a Citroen.
I mean, the message would have been look out for the ice cream wagon, wouldn't it?
Plus,
yes, because this place is so full of living humans.
Listen. There's a badger in the back of the van.
You threw out the dead bodies. You said you threw out the dead bodies, didn't you?
Yeah, we did say that.
Yeah.
Does that include the badger?
Yeah.
Well, I assumed as much, but
Damn.
That badger would have been ripe.
Aye.
that would have beaten that several hundred years bloody milk into a
It would.
second place.
Well, we could go Wile E. Coyote style with these bushes. I've got a plasma knife. I can cut them off and just go. The plucked violins.
Yeah, the thing is, like, the bushes only go so far, and then you're actually just gonna, like, there's houses either side of the road and walls.
No, I was thinking more, like, you know, Wile E. Coyote, where he actually picks the bush up with him and chops it,
Yeah.
and then drops it, and then.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. You can try and hack a bit of the bush off of the bush.
Yeah.
To carry with you.
I've got a plasma knife. I can do it.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'll give you that much.
Hey, and we're looking good doing it.
You're really not by this point. Okay, so you start trying to sneak up the bushes. Sorry, you try to bush. You're not really sneaking. You're
sneaking.
bushing. You're not sneaking. You're not sneaking at all. You're walking behind a bush.
Yes, we are essentially we are moving along with the bush, and whenever we come into their eyesight, we will drop down.
Stop.
Yeah.
So it looks like bush.
So sudden movement as well. Just to
Yeah.
Well, before they look towards us, obviously, yes. As much as
Okay. There is one wolf that's just staring at you, and he lights up a cigarette and starts smoking it.
Do these bastards never watch Warner Brother cartoons? I mean, what's the point in having an education if they're not watching these?
It's a shame we haven't got an anvil to drop on their heads.
Yeah, he's smoking a gouillard.
It would be really good to paint the side of a tunnel at this point.
Outside of a house.
I'll have you know we are educated wolves.
Clearly not educated. You've never seen a Wile E. Coyote cartoon.
This is why we do not fall for your trick. Right, so anyway, yeah, they've definitely seen you.
Okay.
Perhaps they find it amusing or endearing.
They don't look like they're going to arms or anything. They're just kind of watching you with bemusement.
Let's get.
Meanwhile, you can hear a V8 engine somewhere behind you on the road.
Oh, it's rocket launcher guy.
To actual cover.
You hop over a garden wall, leaving traces of bush behind you.
Okay.
The wolves, meanwhile, also go into a panic. It's radiation! It's radiation! And they scatter.
Wait, what?
Perhaps he's called.
Well, that's just confusing.
Check your Geiger counter.
Wait. It is possible that maybe some of the missiles that brought the original devastation made a sound similar to a V8 engine. So when they hear that sound, they think it's more missiles.
Maybe.
Meanwhile, the Batmobile is definitely coming up the road behind you. Like, you're hidden behind a brick wall of somebody's garden.
Yeah, I just want to check the Geiger counter as well. See if it's...
Right. So here's what we do. Clearly, the thing with the bush didn't work. But I think the actual idea was sound. So what we need to do instead is take sections of brick and wall and go with that instead. See, we're moving into urban territory. That's why it got caught out, because we were moving into urban territory. Just
Kevin,
a bit of wall to go behind.
You check your Geiger counter, and it's just measuring background radiation slightly higher in France than in England, but not excessive.
Okay.
Now, if you'd looked at it when you went through that town that's no longer there, that would have been a bit actually worrying.
We had other considerations.
Like
At that.
bushes.
There's nothing, no trouble here at the moment, so okay. It must be just what they call it then.
What you need, Kevin, is a grenade launcher.
Oh, that would be very nice. Yeah, I like
Okay.
that.
The Batmobile goes past you and is now proceeding deeper into Allen Court.
Well, perhaps we don't want to go too far into there then.
You hear a thwang.
Ooh.
Does it sound like it came at us, or
That's just a sound you heard. You'd have to peer over the wall.
No, I imagine they tried to shoot at him, but the shields.
well, if they've seen us hide from him as well, we might be better off.
It's possible that there are competing packs.
All of a sudden, there is the sound of extreme quantities of gunfire.
Oh,
Okay.
It sounds like multiple small arms going off.
Okay.
Shall we just take our leave at this point?
Yes, it sounds like there was possibly multiple packs.
we will be walking an awfully long way if we don't get out of a car.
Yeah, we desperately need one. First
There's
car
a-
behind.
There's a grenade explosion, and it sounds like a roof of a building is now the tiles are sliding off of it into the road.
Shit. First car. Let's get
The
there.
first car is
First
further
car you see
road.
is that Renault 4 further up the road.
Ah, Renault.
I don't think we have a chance to sneak here. If we sneak, we're dead. I think we just leg it. We just belt for it.
Aye.
Straight for the car, nip in, and we floor it.
Okay. You leap over the wall and start running towards the Renault 4, which is the other side of the Batmobile.
Oh,
The lunatic is the only word that springs to mind. That was the guy in the Batmobile. He's got oozes, just spray firing. Then he throws the gun down. His butler hands him another one, picks up the thing he's just thrown down and reloads it. In his other hand, he's got a flamethrower at the moment. There are wolves with longbows trying to shoot at him, but are largely unsuccessful. Large quantities of wolves are exploding and dying and being flung back in a hail of lead, whilst this butler calmly hands this madman more weapons.
Where are
And
we
you're
in orientation to him? Are we in front of him, beside him?
you're on a road or pavement next to a road, either way. He is up the street, let's say 100 metres. 50 metres beyond that is a Renault 4.
we've got to run up behind him and past him to get to the car.
Well,
I think we should run up behind him and shoot him.
I was thinking more we could run up behind him and we could all just fucking fire at him.
Yeah.
Which is terribly cowardly to shoot a complete megalomaniac with a complete arsenal of weaponry in the back. But
And then we can take his car.
now there's a car.
Hey.
We'll kill him.
Okay, so that's your plan, yeah?
I'm not
Aye.
too
Two
sure
of us shoot him. Two of us shoot him. One of them shoot the butler.
Aye, we can shoot the butler.
Okay, we'll shoot him.
Okay. We will roll for initiative when we get back from this break.
Okay.
Oh. Cunning is on the road behind you. Now I'll have a break.
Okay.
So, now that I have you all to myself, new updates for Prize Fighter this week. So Thursday night stream over on the Twitch channel will be featuring a new game mode and some bug fixes and improved pathing. And possibly, if I code tomorrow, possibly another new game mode as well. We'll see. Don't yet know what tomorrow brings. Meanwhile, we wait for 3 players to emerge. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Gentlemen, roll for initiative.
Oh yeah. I forgot.
Oh dear.
17.
13.
7.
Ooh.
Well, someone has to go first.
What did I roll?
You
That.
say someone has to go first. Do you mean someone has to go first in order, or someone has to go first into that long good night?
No, in that order.
Okay, so first to act, Danny McSober.
Yes. Steve, the Twitch channel is called /PrizeFighter TV.
Yes, I shall put a link.
Right. So remind me how far away we are again from the fancy car. Is that more like 50 feet, or is it a bit closer by now?
What did I say? 100 meters and then 50 meters, didn't I?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was half, but
Yeah.
maybe it was 100. Okay.
100 meters to the Batmobile and then 50 meters to the Renault 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a case of, we were going to get closer and then shoot him.
I'm just wondering, with my remote hacking, whether I could either bring the shields down very briefly or do something to cause a malfunction in the car or cause a big noise or something like that.
What have you got for remote hacking?
Well, I've got my laptop. I've got... what have I even got?
Do you have trainings or equipment specifically for remote hacking?
Well, I assumed it was fairly remote hacking. I've got like advanced hacking software.
No, it's always like, because I've like the problem with Cyberpunk, if you could hack things over the internet, you'd never go on a raid. So you always have to get to the terminal, kind of thing.
I see.
Although that was when Cyberpunk was originally released, they never considered the internet or the high-speed Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, it came out around the same time as Traveller, where if you wanted a computer to calculate your navigation, you had to get like 200 tons of computer space.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit more about what the actual petrol station bit looks like?
You're not in a petrol station. You're in the village of Alencourt. You left the petrol station. That was the start of the session.
Sorry, I thought that for some reason we were still in the complex. I don't know.
No, that was like a while back.
I got confused.
There is the actual village of Alencourt.
Ooh.
Oh, so telegraph poles.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, you have to bear in mind it's like several hundred years of non-occupation. I mean, this house here has all the tiles are now in the road and piled up to about here because there was a grenade a moment ago.
I'm just going to say that the bush there on the right hand side, just to the right nearest tail, looks incredibly phallic. I'm sorry, it just does.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it would be
Oh,
perfect.
that's
for moving
actually
from-
another agent sneaking up on you.
Oh.
See, he watched Warner Brothers cartoons. He understood it.
Okay, is there a way for me to channel my speaker so I can talk on their radio?
Whose radio?
In the car? if there is one.
Well, you can try a broad spectrum broadcast, all channels.
Yeah.
Okay, is that what you're going to do?
Yes, I think I will.
Okay, what are you going to say?
I'll be speaking in German, and I will say in quite a sort of bumbling German accent, basically. Any help appreciated? I am stuck, and I really need some hot dogs. I'm starving.
Okay. He, meanwhile,
I'm
sees...
currently trapped under an ice cream truck.
His is the next action. So he sees you approaching, and he steps back calmly into his car, and the butler closes the door for him, and then calmly turns to walk around the back of the car, and actually no, he'll just walk to the door behind it. And opens it to get in. So he's not in the car yet, but the butler is getting in. Dale, you are next up.
Yeah. The butler's getting it. One shot. One measly, piddling.
It was better
Okay.
than last time.
Roll 2 damage dice separately, please.
Okay.
First one.
4.
Okay, you do 4 damage to the butler, you think. And the next one.
1.
Okay, and a wolf yelps.
Where did the third shot go?
That hit the Renault 4. Kevin.
Stop shooting our way out of here.
I'm going to try and shoot the rear window out and try and hit the guy in the driver's seat.
Okay, you try and shoot at the rear window of the Batmobile. What weapon are you using?
Black Cougar.
Okay. Make 3 to hit rolls. Don't bother about damage. The wolves, meanwhile...
Oh, shit. Oh, that's 3 hits.
Ting, ting, ting. The paintwork hurts the bullets. The wolves, meanwhile, launch a hail of arrows from many different directions at the Batmobile, and it'll just bounce off and collapse on the floor. And you notice, actually, the Batmobile is surrounded by a ring of arrows. You also notice now, as you've got a bit further down the street, there's a couple of burned out buildings smouldering. There's lots of wolf corpses spread all over the debris around those buildings. Danny, he didn't... I mean, he turned to look, but he hasn't responded to you yet.
Okay. Alright, well, guns are obviously doing nothing. So... Oh, do I do that or not? Probably a bit too risky. Are the telegraph poles, are they just on wooden poles or is it more metal?
Oh, looks like they're concrete, oddly enough.
Oh, is that oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, yeah, it's definitely not happening then. Unless I can see, say, a wooden one a bit further up. No, they all love their concrete.
Apparently so.
Yeah. Okay. Right, I'm gonna make a beeline and try and jump over the car and get to the Renault.
Okay, so you're sprinting.
Yeah, try and sprint.
So, yeah, you'll get about level with the Batmobile roughly. Meanwhile, he gets on his sneaker and says, "Identify yourselves." And he starts his engine, and the V8 thunders into life. The butler, meanwhile, finishes getting in the car, dusts off the glancing blow he took. Dale.
How close am I to the car?
50 meters.
I'm going to crouch low. I'm going to try and shoot for the exhaust.
Okay.
Hello.
Make 3 to hit rolls.
Please don't hit me.
One hit again.
Okay, roll for damage.
8.
Max damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
God.
This vehicle is being stolen. Activating defenses. And there is a sparkle of electricity within the Batmobile. It's just like lightning inside the car. Cunniligula, meanwhile, has just pulled up behind you, a short distance away, and her jaw has dropped. The wolves fire another hail of arrows that bounce off the car, and then they start howling. Woo! Kevin.
I'll run to the car and see if he's actually being electrocuted inside.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
How can we turn that off then? Is Windows up, I take it?
Oh yeah, they just got in the car. The butler had just finished closing the door when somebody hit the burglar alarm with their shot and scored max damage.
Well, I think we just have to wait for the battery to run flat now, I'm afraid.
That should hopefully
Danny,
give us enough time to get the fuck into that other car and speed off.
you get an emergency alert over your speaker, as do the rest of you, actually. You all hear this.
Mm-hmm.
CEO Wolfer von Tripp has been killed whilst on safari in his back garden. All Eurasian Incorporated assets to France immediately to the town of Alain-Court and recover the body. Exterminate with extreme prejudice whoever is responsible. Repeat, Wolfer von Tripp has been killed by hostile action in Alain-Court.
On safari, you say?
On safari in his back garden, yeah.
In his back garden. Have I reached the car, as in the Batmobile by this point?
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
dear.
presumably I also hear the alarm going off.
Yeah, the electricity fizzes out and the lightning stops.
Am I able to use my plasma knife to slash the tires?
Yeah, but they look armoured. They look like it's not so much tyres as like polymorphic metal plates.
Could plasma blades penetrate that?
I reckon
Maybe.
it'll be like Star Wars Episode 1, you know, melting it, you know, putting it through and melting it, take a couple of rounds.
But look, the occupants are dead. They're just, at this point, they are blackened skeletons with smoke coming off them.
Okay.
Well, technically his car killed him, so...
Absolutely.
So you say that the lightning's kind of gone over it now, and it's
Yeah, it's finished.
gone
The
away?
lightning was all
Okay,
inside the
okay.
car, and it is
Right.
now finished.
cool.
There's just a blackened, smouldering skeleton or two.
In that case, never mind. Change of plan. I open the door, drag them out,
Mm-hmm.
and start the engines.
The battery's flat.
Oh yeah. Jump cables.
We'll get that Citroen, we'll get that Renault 4 over, and we'll jump this car.
Hey,
Yeah.
I need to do that.
Right, the Renault 4 has jump cables. Meanwhile, alerts keep going off on your phone. it looks like the entirety of Eurasian Incorporated's military are heading in this direction.
Do we want to be caught in his car?
However,
No,
the
no.
wolves come up to you like, you killed radiation. It's the biggest killer in France.
Aye.
Yes. We need a speedy vehicle to make an exit because
Yes, one.
some of his friends want to come and congratulate us, and we're rather shy.
Well, there's one right there. Take his.
Aye, we are working on that. Aye.
Yeah.
Wait till the Queen of France hears what you've done.
Aye, we'd love to meet her one day.
One day.
Okay. You get the Renault 4 Rover. It does have jump cables in the Renault 4, oddly enough, not in the Batmobile.
Yeah.
And you pop the bonnet on this Batmobile, and you're going to have to make a mechatronics roll at -6.
Yeah, I'm
Jesus.
not going anywhere near that.
Mechatronics and what, sorry?
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just drive them, I don't fix them.
Oh, I made it by 1.
Oh, okay. No, this doesn't need
Made it
a new battery. You just need to fire the Gauss primer and.
Oh, there we go. I got good in mechatronics.
You got that guy. Yeah, after we learned that lesson.
All right. Well, we don't need the Battle of Agincourt up anymore. Sorry, Alincourt. Yeah, you know, I like to do epic games, only slightly more shit. It's Alincourt. There's a wolf called Alan. He thinks it was named after him until the day he dies. Right.
And all
He
I
thinks
can
he's
say
the one
is,
that
all I
Fired the
can
last
say
blow
is,
before the lightning.
I used a well-known historically sound attack there. I went for a small thermal exhaust port just below the main port.
Okay. Cunniligula, meanwhile, pulls up next to you. Impressive.
Yes, I am.
You've obviously got big balls.
You'll never know.
Anyway, I'm going to get out of here because, by my reckoning, got no more than 10 minutes before the first jets arrive.
Bye then.
Okay, I'm using them off.
As soon as we're able, it's pedal to the metal.
Okay, you belt it out of there. Little bit of driving around country lanes later until you get back to the motorway, or do you go back roads?
Back roads. Also, Danny, see if this thing has any sort of tracking on it and disable it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to check the weapons.
it is
Because if this
indeed.
fucker's got tracking, then you know they're just going to
Yeah.
zoom in on us, whatever the fuck they are.
It's absolutely riddled with it. So start making intelligence plus computers and AI rolls. I need 3 successes. Each failure will add -8. If you get 3 failures, things go bad.
Okay. Made it by 4.
So you're good so far. No
Made
penalties.
it by 1.
Okay, good so far.
Oh, made it by many.
Okay, you have disabled all of the tracking stuff. Kevin, you start looking for the weapons on this thing. Can you make me also, please, an intelligence plus computers and AI, because this is quite sophisticated weapon systems. I mean, there's a lot of like hand weapons in the boot, like serious quantities.
Yeah, I also want to check those out when we can. Anyway, so I made that by made it by 1.
Okay, so after several minutes of playing and going past stock market information, you press the other button, which takes you to the weapons systems. And yeah, it's the Batmobile. It's got missile launchers, rocket launchers, flak, chaff systems, flare systems, mines, oil slicks.
Cloaking device?
No.
Oh.
We should be okay. We're as safe as we've been for a long time now.
Yeah.
It also has a
okay.
map that seems to be tied into a satellite that shows you all of the game locations in France.
Okay.
Lubasac is a swarm.
A swarm.
Yeah, like on the map, it's got dots for basically all of the things he hunts, which are wolves.
Okay.
And Lubasac is just like somebody sneezed at the screen.
Oh.
Of course, they're going to think it's him coming now as well, aren't they?
Aye.
Yeah.
Okay, so you disappear into the back roads. It is about 10 minutes when you see the mushroom cloud in the rear view camera.
Well, they mean business.
Oh, fucking fuck.
And it takes you consequently much longer to find your way to Reims, which is the direction you were heading in.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it is actually the evening by the time you get to the outskirts of Reims. Now, Reims, it seems, is another scorched wasteland.
Ooh.
Okay.
Should we check the Geiger counter this time?
Aye.
Yeah, the Geiger counter is actually kind of loud, so like you turn it off
Okay.
because it's
Keep
clicking
going.
that fast.
Keep going.
Aye.
Best way to Louvatal.
Surely there's an autopilot of some kind on this, or an auto drive.
Yes, there was a butler. He died.
Apart from the butler, I mean, in the car itself.
No, there's nothing you
cruising.
found for that.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
just
just a bit in cruise control.
I'm all right for driving it. I can keep it going.
Okay.
More importantly, I have thought of a possible way to possibly alert the wolves that we're not actually there to hunt them.
Oh, good.
Okay, go on.
This thing has got This thing's got speakers, right?
Maybe. Well, it must have had in the alarm
Yeah.
system at least.
Yeah.
So even if it doesn't have them, you can certainly
So
jury
we're
rig
going to
something.
patch in music, and we're going to play something suitable. So I suggest an old track.
Not the archers.
No, he was playing the Archers. No. I'm going to suggest an old song by an artist called Warren Zevon, called "Werewolves of London."
There's also Werewolves of Armenia by Powerwolf.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, no, the music system in this car actually is full of classical music. Like, that's all that's there. It's like anything before 1900 is not on this music system. So anything after 1900.
Well, we could have something that's still suitable. Let's see.
Capulets and Montagues by Prokofiev.
No, Debussy. That's French.
Anyway, whilst you're having
William
this
Tell
discussion,
Overture.
whilst you're having this discussion, your hair starts falling out.
Oh God. Have you still got the bucket?
No, that was in the ice cream van.
No, I'm just thinking to put this hair somewhere.
Yeah, it's just going everywhere as it falls out. But you make it past Reims. And then you get to a place called Champs-en-Champagne.
Oh,
And as you sort of arrive in this small town, you are greeted at the entrance to it by a gigantic 200-foot tall fiberglass champagne bottle.
I wonder why that is.
And there's a large wolf pack there, according to the monitor.
We're just going to keep going straight through.
You
No,
are
no,
getting
no.
tired. It is near the end of the night.
No, this could be quite a nice opportunity. We need to tell them that we killed radiation and we nabbed his car.
Does that?
They could throw a party for us or something.
It's true.
Let's just tell them what happened. So is the
Okay.
bottle
So you-
kind of
Yeah, it's just by the side of the road, gigantic fiberglass bottle. So you cruise in and bring the car to a halt just inside the town, or
10 square if it's got one or something.
okay, you drive into the centre and pull up in the town square. By which point you become aware that archers have taken up position all around the town square.
Yeah, I'm gonna put out a signal on my speaker, basically telling them that we're not radiation and
Before you do that, no, speaker is an EI communication radio frequency stuff. It's not a loudspeaker.
I thought there could be a feature.
But I should point out, you're starting on some of the EI military channels and stuff like that. There is some bleed over into some of the speaker channels. You're hearing lots of encrypted activity, and there's also some stuff on like EI agent channels that are sort of shared agent channels. There are EI agents coming into the area as well.
Just turn that off.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any white cloth in here?
I don't know.
Has anyone got any white pants?
You've all got shirts on from your suits. Yours is the cheapest.
Okay, I take off my shirt,
Mm-hmm.
get out of the car, and start
Yep.
doing
So
this. They should know what that is.
a particularly heavily pierced wolf starts trotting down from the town hall and says, "We'd heard the news. We just weren't terribly sure if it was true. And
Aye,
you
it's
rolled
true.
into town. We thought we might have to, do the deed ourselves. Well, that's fantastic. Great. Well, come join us in the vineyard. We're going to get pissed. We've got a lot of celebrating to do. Whato?
Your accent is not. Are you from here? Local?
I'm quite an elderly wolf, Nonetheless, it's a black tie event, so if you could, smarten up a bit, that would be ideal.
We'll take a look in the boot.
Okay, you take a look in the boot. Very neatly, very organised, racks and racks of guns. It's like a TARDIS, it's just like huge quantities of all sorts of different hardware. And then you realise that actually that's not the floor of the boot, that is neatly stacked missile launchers. And then you pull them out, and underneath is his reserve weaponry. There's also a particularly nice sword handle. It has an on switch.
Yoink. But are there any suits or nice evening wear in this boot?
Change of clothes, even.
You know what? I tell you what. I'll say that there is a nice suit in the back that was sort of pressed and ironed, ready for him to put on when he'd finished being radiation.
I take that.
It fits Kevin actually quite well because I rolled.
Can we swap suits then?
Swap suits, yes.
Yeah, you could have a slightly misfitting, slightly knackered Kapali suit, game 1 AV.
Looking smart.
With my helmet. Good of a
Yeah.
helmet.
All right, so you go to a piss up that evening with wolves. They're all very well dressed. You end up taking your armor off because that clearly isn't the thing here. This is definitely black tie.
Yeah.
You do look a little bit scruffy next to the wolves, and some of them kind of sneer at you over their piercings, but to a large extent, like once word gets around of these are actually the people that killed Radiation, you're kind of welcomed and sort of celebrated a bit, and you do get very drunk because it's impossible not to, because the wolves insist, and they do have big teeth, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
So-
That's probably fine.
Awfully
These sort
nice
of
people.
problems.
We'll deal with how you wake up now, just before we go to the cliffhanger. So you do indeed wake up. There is around the town square. You guys apparently have been sleeping on statues and on the steps of various adornments around the square. As you come to, there are no less than 12 heavy tanks in the town square. And a large number of soldiers, and there's some Eurasian Incorporated agents that are shaking you too.
Oh, steady on, steady on.
Wasn't that big a
fucking-
party?
What is it?
Oh my god, my head.
It's very
So we'll
early.
deal with that next week.
Ah!
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a good point to finish. So, I
Yeah.
thought I didn't end it there.
It's a,
Okay.
as they say in the trade, it was a convenient moment.
Yes.
I think we're in trouble. Again.
You've
Right.
only killed your CEO. It could be a chance for promotion. There's a gap up the top now.
I didn't expect shooting the exhaust port to be exactly that intriguing, but hey,
Well, yeah, it worked the first time as well. So
Well, I wanted to dial it up to 11.
and yes, Steve, we will be on Monday for
Yes.
maths.
Mass of Neil Arthur Tep, and then on Thursday for Prize Fighter, Thursday 8 p.m.
Although Ronnie isn't going to be here next
No,
week.
I won't be there on Monday. I'm at a 21st.
But
Yes.
neither will Winston, conveniently.
Okay, so I'm going to end the broadcast here. It was great having you with us, Steve.
Yeah.
And anybody else who watches this later, thank you for actually getting past all that nonsense. What can
Thanks a
I say?
lot
It's
for
a week
watching,
campaign. Bye-bye.
Bye, Steve. Bye.